I asked Neil.
Okay.
How does it feel knowing that the First Amendment does not apply to the NBA draft?
Very touchy. It's very touchy. Got to have the protesters out. You just have to talk in riddles, speak in tongues.
I had asked him, at what point did the league either kind of slap you on the hand and say, shame on you, or did they call or send a memo? Like, was it right after you guys started talking about Blake, or at what point did they kind of say something?
Yeah, I really know what you're talking about.
Okay.
I was in Barcelona. It was 4 o'clock in the morning, and things just kind of...
Glass of sangria.
You had a little wine? Yeah.
I can't remember much about it.
Gentlemen calls, and what can you do, right?
Exactly.
Oh, I didn't have your number.
I don't know what happened there.
I asked Neil about the possibility of picking up a late first-rounder or a second-round pick. He said you guys have looked at some of the group workouts at other places, and I just was wondering what your thoughts are on getting another pick in this draft.
There are a lot of players out there that are good players that potentially could be good fits. I think we're always exploring opportunities, and sometimes you like to be a little proactive with it to see if you can get one sooner than later, as opposed to all of a sudden here comes somebody your way that you really like, and you're figuring out how can I make that happen. It's a couple of days before the draft, and we'll kind of see. There's some teams out there potentially that would like to, sell a pick because they have multiple picks. They don't want to take it on their payroll,
Right.
or either that or they'll take a European player and stash them.
Right.
We won't go on their cap. So, multiple first-round picks, multiple second-round picks. Those guys are usually candidates to move one.
Is there more or less talk leading up to this draft among executives?
I think there's a lot of talk.
Is it about the same as normal, or?
Yeah, a little bit less for us this time around because of where we are and basically our stance on the pick. Unless somebody all of a sudden, I haven't talked to anybody about the pick in probably over 2 weeks. Not to say that somebody couldn't come in with a last-minute offer of some kind, but I doubt anything that would ever happen.
Do people pretty much figure you're not going to surrender it anyway, so it's not even worth asking?
No, I think that basically, as we should, I think we have a high value on it, on the player that we potentially could pick, based on everything about him.
As y'all take feelers or take calls and put out feelers on your big men, what kind of player would you be looking for in return?
Right now that's yet to be seen as far as where we stand with any of that. Obviously, if we were to make any kind of moves with our team, it's going to be about now. I think for us to be able to win next year. So clearly that's the direction that we're going. If it changes and we would see something that would help, it would all come down to now. Whether it be a draft pick or a player or something like that, if we were looking to do anything before there's a pre-draft market and there's a post-draft market for what you can do.
In terms of that, what do you need now?
Well, clearly we don't need a front line. So pick your perimeter. It's perimeter, it would be someplace on a perimeter where we thought we could add help.
Potentially, if you take Blake Griffin, how much versatility does that give you in the lineup because of his skill set and different things that he can do?
Well, a guy like Blake Griffin has the ability, I think, in our league, because the league is going smaller at times, where he could play 5 at times. He's a natural power forward, but he also, based on his quickness and athleticism, probably could play some big 3 as well. Mm-hmm. So he has some versatility to his game. The more consistent he gets from the outside with his jump shot, the more he'll be able to play a 3 when needed.
What impresses you most about the player who cannot be named?
You can ask me about a player.
Okay.
I can answer questions about a player.
Okay. What impressed you most about the guy you're going to draft Thursday?
Well, I can't say that.
Okay. What about the guy you brought in and worked out
in front of all of us?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Well,
I'm being whimsical, but yeah.
You're referring to Blake
Griffin. What impressed you most about him? Just from that workout?
Basically, his size, his quickness and his explosion, and his ball handling skills. I think all of those are going to impact, his ability to succeed in a very positive way.
How about with his character off the court?
I mean, everything I've heard about him has been incredibly good, and his work ethic is beyond reproach.
Are you committed to play a more improvisational style next season?
I'm committed to playing. If that means as far as running, you should kind of. There's some people out there who may not understand what
A
you're
less
saying.
structured offense.
No, basically, what we're looking to do is kind of the combination of push. The first thing I think the best fast break has been the classic fast break of all time, the Laker fast break when they ran in the 80s and 90s, where you have a guy take the ball off the glass and try and break it out. You fill your wings, and your first big post guy dives to the box.
Can your big man handle the ball well enough to execute that?
Well, yeah, I'm not asking them to bring the ball up the floor. I'm asking them to take one dribble and outlet it. So that's not. I think all of our guys can do that. The key is, to me, is the perimeter positions, guys being able to push the ball. Being able to multiple possessions up and down the floor, and that's the emphasis right now. Our emphasis for Barron. He's a guy that last year because of injuries, I don't think did that as well as he has been able to do it in the past, and as well as we would like for him to do it. And he's been in the gym since May the 10th right now, shooting the ball, and shot looks great. And conditioning-wise, I mean, not expecting him to be ready to go as of today, but, clearly it's earlier than he's been in the gym, in many years. And to me, that's the key, is his ability to push and break people down off the dribble.
Just for fun, what did you like about Rubio when you saw him in person in Spain?
Well, his ability to push the ball and his ability to make passes, to make plays. He's got great court vision. He finds his people, and he gets them shots.
Have you did you get a chance to see Taylor Griffin at any of the group workouts, and have you given any thought to if he's a rookie free agent, put him on the summer league team, bring him in as a package deal? I'm
not exactly sure if I can talk in those terms. I've seen him play. I think he's a good player. I think he works really hard, and it would be a player that's coveted by a lot of teams.
With how much you guys were excited with Rubio, if you had the third pick or so, are you surprised with, the new rumors that he could drop down to 5? He doesn't want to go to 2 or 3 teams, and some people say he might not be taking.
I'm never surprised by the draft. And there are a lot of times I think we have valued the draft very well over the last 5 years, but we have valued guys that sometimes have gotten to us that we've valued higher, and that proved to be guys that we think should have gone where we thought they should go. And so you just can't, you never guess that. You just got to pick. You put your guys on a board and you value them, and then as somebody seems potentially to slip to you, then you try to do what you can do to get that value.
Is this a more unpredictable draft than most from 2 on down?
I think it is. I think it's more bunched up. There's not as many clear guys, as far as a pecking order, or if you had them in tiers, there's just not. Typically each year there's a debate who the number 1 pick in the draft is. I doubt there is this year. There's usually a debate of 2 or 3 and who's going to go. And I think that I think people feel like that a player 10 picks down in the draft in some ways could impact the draft as well as somebody like, and I'm saying all the way through it. Even this is a different year. I mean, somebody taking at 10 might be surpassed by somebody taking at 20. I just don't think it's. I think they're really bunched up. As far as talent, there's a lot of good players out there that can help some teams.
How's DeAndre's development going this summer?
DeAndre's been great. He's been in here and he's worked hard and spending a lot of time on his free throw shooting and his skill work and conditioning, because that's clearly an area for a young player, as far as to take big leaps, to coming from college of 1 year to now he had a full pro year and now understands the game better and what it's going to take. So he's been in the gym doing a good job.
What's his ceiling?
You know, it depends on. I think he has the tools to be a Tyson Chandler type of player for sure. Rebounding, running, jumping, great hands, great finisher. And then, the question would be, can he come out on the floor and get a, if you can, typically with all the big guys, the first place we go with them is like, right, if you can get that Tim Duncan bank shot, just that mid-range bank shot where somebody's got to really play you, then your quickness comes into play a great deal, where they can't just play off of you. DeAndre's got some quickness, and he can finish from long range, and I think that's one of the other skill sets that he's working on. Who else?